What is going on, everybody? Welcome to RGTP. I am your host, Lewis, and with me, as always, the outstanding co-host, my man,
Oh, yo,
Mamba.
stop it. Stop it.
Mamba, how we doing today, my
Yo,
guy? It has been a
today's a
lot
great
of
day.
it's
It's
been
a
a lot of
great
2K
day,
grinding
bro.
today.
Oh,
We've
my
grinded out a
goodness.
lot of
It's a great
2K.
day. Love it. Happy 2K day, bro.
Lots of 2K grinding. Absolutely fun.
Yes.
NFL football has officially kicked off yesterday. The
Rams
Buffalo
got their ass
Bills
whipped,
31, Los Angeles Rams
bro.
10. Cannot wait
Allen
to see.
Robinson, one target, bro.
Cam Akers had three rushing
For
attempts.
no yards, fucking Stafford's throwing 3 picks. The only person actually doing anything on that team, Cup and Donald.
Oh, yeah, but it is not Wednesday. We'll save all that for Wednesday because the NFL season kicks off. We'll be talking football every Wednesday at 6 p.m. Eastern Time right here on YouTube. The infamous RGTP Power Rankings will be live after week 4, heading into week 5. We'll get about
Yo.
4 games into the season to figure out what exactly
Yeah, don't
going
want
on.
another
Who
Carolina,
is
right?
who? I know, right? So be on the lookout for that. But of course, it is here. It is Friday, and Friday is wrestling day. We're gonna cover everything
Anarchy.
that we can possibly cover in the land of professional wrestling. 3 massive pay-per-views went down last weekend. We watched every single minute of it. Wow.
A
So
lot
I'll
of
start.
wrestling.
I'll start right there. How was the weekend and all of these amazing matches? We've seen trios, we've seen tag matches, we've seen mixed tag matches, we've seen world title matches, we've seen unification matches.
Yes.
We've seen it all. Ladder matches.
It's fantastic, right? Even the people who are like AEW's better, WWE better, you can't deny this was a great week for wrestling in general, right? I don't want to say that Clash was better than All Out, and I don't want to say All Out was better than Clash. I think they were what they were. You know, it is two separate companies going two different directions. So you try to compare it, it can get a little murky, but it's always going to be there because they're the same thing, right? And I love it. I love wrestling, bro. Like I told you, wrestling now feels like when I was a kid.
It's
Watching Eddie and Ray and all them, like it was so exciting. Like what's about to happen? I want to get to the next Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, or Friday, or the Saturday pay-per-view or the Sunday pay-per-view because I know I don't know anything, right? Like I know what I want to expect, but then they always something else happens and you're like, okay, I can get why they go this route, and then there's some routes that I just can't agree with.
Tricky routes. Absolutely. There was a lot going on this weekend. All the pay-per-views hit. We dropped our ratings. Well, I dropped my ratings for those. It was all really close. There was a couple things here and there. Obviously, Drew not quite walking away. Champion probably would have put Clash at the Castle over.
There were times where I'm like, that's 3. Drew's about to win. That's 3. They're gonna do it, and then it just something always came up to help Rowan.
We saw an outstanding Worlds Collide, I should say, down in NXT, and then obviously All Out. We had returns, we had controversy, we have suspensions, we have vacancies. So what better place to start than what headlined the most coming out of the weekend? CM Punk is the new AEW World Champion. Shoots his press conference, promo, shoot, interview, whatever you want to call it at this point of the week, with Tony Khan and the media. Shreds Colt Cabana up and down. Yes. Like not even instigated.
Obviously there's fault all around, right? Tony Khan's at fault too, like he's allowed it to get to this point. When Punk came in, he was not hidden about how much he loved Punk, right? So we know Tony Khan is with Punk, but it's also his company, and the Elite did bring in a lot when, you know, like
They were the,
it
they
was
have
him,
been the
Cody, and then it was who's gonna fund it, and then that's when Tony Khan stepped in, like, I'm here, I know where we can get the billions from, like, let's do it, right?
right.
But yo, you can't have your world champion just pew pew pew, you know, just shooting crazy. Like,
Everybody caught shots.
shoot promos are good, right? Like, at times, obviously there's some bad ones. And from a shoot promo, what I want to hear is like, yes, I can fully agree with everything you're saying, and we know they don't want you saying this. I don't want to shoot promo where I'm watching it and I'm like, yo, I'm literally like cringing physically watching it because it's like, does this really need to be said right now? You know, and it's
Christian a few weeks ago on Jungle Boy.
yeah, and I kind of have the same time. That was kind of different, right? Because you knew it was gonna be said. As soon as he started his promo and he brought up his dad, you knew it was gonna be said. And they did it for the
Punk
oh
just
my
woke up and
god.
chose
But
violence.
yeah, well, yeah. Bleeding. The man looks like a savage. Like, just talking, he sounds a little crazy. He looks crazy. He's like tired of wrestling children, and they Twitter and the internet, you know how they do their thing. They always bring back the promos, and he's like, "Oh, I'm so glad to be here. There's some great wrestlers back here. I can't wait to wrestle them." They're showing the pictures of Punk and the Young Bucks, you know, and it's like,
Yep.
this is aged so well, right?
Oh yeah.
Now, obviously, I'm sitting here and you're sitting there. We're talking about Punk, but with the Young Bucks and Kenny, they knew it was going to escalate. Like, even everyone back there knew as soon as they went to that door, it was going to escalate. So
Whatever
there
you
is
think it
fall.
was, there was, the polite
Yes.
knock and saving a dog, and then
Yes.
there's reports that the door was
Yep.
kicked down.
Yeah.
He said going on backstage.
Yes. Escalation was going to happen because words were said that maybe should not have been said, you know.
Chunks of flesh were bitten off or
And
something. I don't know what's going on. Eyes were getting chair socket. I don't.
amazing.
Whew.
When we said AEW was chaos, bro, AEW is chaos. But to get into AEW show, right? Like, I feel as though Tony Khan, even with his reading, because those eyes were moving, bro. Did you notice? Those eyes were moving
He's
on
crazy.
that teleprompter.
He looks psycho. That's his biggest downfall. He looks
They
crazy.
did do probably the best thing they could have done. Not address like Punk's injured, which Punk's injured again, bro. Are you kidding me? You're a 2-time champion with a 6-day reign.
Yep.
And you tell me you took it off Moxley for this? Are you kidding me,
Yes.
bro?
But and now they're gonna probably put it back on. I don't know.
We'll get to that in a little bit. Yeah,
we'll
I give you my thought on that. But stripping the titles because suspensions, potential firings, and I talked to my sister about wrestling. You have a brother you talk to about wrestling as well, and we have ambition. But like, when it's this crazy of stuff, I tell my parents as well. Like, I'll be talking to them, and I'll be like, "Yo, listen to this. This dude was biting people at a wrestling event, dude. Like, this is insane."
Backstage,
right?
Everybody's chilling.
And
they were
just, yeah, nah. AEW. How do you feel about everything that went down?
Very controversial. They're gonna have to get their shit together. I think it's been AEW has had one foot in the grave, so to speak. Not to us necessarily, but a lot of the wrestling community and wrestling fans since Triple H came over and took charge. A lot of wrestling fans like boom, already coming down a notch. One foot in the grave, like I said, and then this, and it's just like, yeah, you guys look like you guys want to just jump in the motherfucking grave when your biggest draw, without a doubt, CM Punk has reeled in the most money, most ratings, views, you name it. He's done it. He's let it known publicly on TV. Excuse me. And then he's fighting the EVPs of the company and trashing some of their closest friends.
Yep.
publicly
Trashing them as well, you
out
know?
loud.
Like,
So yeah, gotta get shit under control, because you're gonna be looking at what's the next pay-per-view gonna look like. Are we gonna start seeing pay-per-view buys go down?
right.
Are people just not gonna buy anymore? The ratings were up this week, obviously, with
Oh, of
everything that's going on,
course.
'cause everyone wants to know what
Of
the hell's going
course,
on.
right.
But in about a month or two, are we gonna be looking and ratings are just slowly gonna start ticking off, because
Right.
Punk is now officially out anywhere from 6 to 8 months, with potentially getting fired afterwards.
Right.
Christian Cage, we'll jump to this very briefly. He is injured, hence the Luchasaurus versus Jungle Boy match, essentially. He's not coming back. It's not like
About 6 to 9 months for him as
it's not like
well.
he pushed ratings very crazy or anything like that. But then you're gonna have Omega and the Young Bucks both missing, all three missing time. That's gonna play a factor, especially with Kenny just returning and being crowned champion. So the ratings are gonna fluctuate. A return of MJF, which we'll also talk about in more depth in a bit, will definitely help. But you're essentially your three biggest attractions: CM Punk, Kenny Omega, and the Young Bucks. Literally just got all crowned champions over the course of the weekend. Like, it was supposed to be this big thing, potentially heading into full gear, and now it's just like, yeah. Who knows if any of you guys are gonna be with a fucking company now?
Right. We were looking at potentially MJF versus Punk, which would tie back into their feud earlier, you know.
So much.
Now we won't get that. We won't get it because I'm not gonna take over. Where do you want to go? Where do you want to go? Because we can go anywhere with this.
There's a lot. We'll start with the vacancies, because we kind of already touched on it. Young Bucks and Kenny Omega beat the Dark Order-led Hangman Page to be Trios champions.
Tough.
Then immediately, obviously, follows the scrum. They're due to vacate, which means a new match obviously gets underway. Death Triangle versus Orange Cassidy and Best Friends, where Death Triangle gets crowned.
Which
I
completely
guess
happy with that.
Newly inaugural, because there was no interim attached to any of this. So new inaugural trios champion. Pac becomes our first AEW's official double champion. Kudos to Pac on that one. But thoughts on that? We have new trios champions officially announced before we hop on over to the tournament.
Yes. I was so close. I mean, the Best Friends were so close. It was so close, dude. I wanted them originally to win the tournament. You know, I just felt it was Orange Cassidy's time, you know, and a singles title, maybe not yet for him.
I was just about to say, you still are holding out hope.
Yes, not yet. I did say All Atlantic because they now have the trios with Pac having two. But I felt like having the trios title and him having Chuck and Trent there, he didn't have to do as much because we all know like his gimmick in the ring, right? So the trios would allow him to do his shtick, but then also have his friends there with him to allow him to take some time off, you know. But I'm not mad at Death Triangle winning because I love all three of them as well. Like, Lucha Underground is where I first saw Penta and Phoenix, bro, and amazing. Like, they are, and I think should be one day fighting maybe against each other for that world title, to be honest.
Never,
and Pac,
never know.
I will never count him out. And everyone loves him, bro. Everyone loves him.
He's only gotten better.
Maybe not everyone, but pretty
only
much
gotten better over the years. Promos are so much better now from where he once was. He looks a lot better than the WWE groomed Neville that he was. All for this. I'm okay with this.
Hey, that man should have been a WWE champion against Seth. I will never forget that.
I recently just watched like that spot on TikTok not too long ago.
It's so good. It's so good. That spot will forever live in my brain.
It was an absolute banger. He will eventually be challenging for some world title in AEW at some point. Hopefully. I'm all for it.
Maybe even ROH. Him and Claudio, bro.
Maybe. I'm sorry. No, that'd actually probably be really, really fucking great.
Right? And then you have Yuta against maybe Penta, Yuta against Phoenix, potentially. Those matches would be good.
Yeah, no, definitely, definitely. Death Triangle, though, it is going to be interesting to see what is next for them because
Yeah.
a whole trio's got eliminated. Malachi Black seems to have gotten his release. I don't know, maybe, or
Dark Order might become a
whatever's going on.
trio.
Yeah,
He might leave them, like.
there the trios division is definitely going to be interesting to see sort of where it plays out and what Dark Order does, considering they are faces. Not many
Yep.
healed trios, so we'll see unless Stokely and the boys become legitimate at
Oh
some
yeah.
point throughout the year.
Would
Uh,
their trios be the Ass Boys and what's his name? I I always forget Big
Morrissey,
Cass's name. Yes, I always forget. I always want to say
maybe,
Moriarty, and it's not him because they have a Moriarty.
maybe. Potentially, he's sort of the big squash monster that comes
Yep.
in and does minimal work to win
Yep.
matches. Doesn't have to be exposed too long. Leave Lee and Ethan Page as the singles. Maybe,
Maybe.
maybe it's definitely something to potentially look out for. But it's gonna be interesting to see where and who they defend against going forward.
Yes.
That's really the big thing. Our next vacant title, sadly, we are going to have to vacate the AEW Championship. Again, interim is not being thrown around now with this one, so it looks like they're not going to be dealing with this bullshit.
Yo, it not only is it a more long-term injury,
Mm-hmm.
and that was just,
There's
as
a
you
lot of
just said, a
complications.
whole
There's a
lot of
lot of
bullshit to
complications.
where they could not make this an interim title. They could not.
Yeah, it's definitely something. We have the inaugural AEW Tournament of Champions to crown our new champion at Arthur Ashe Stadium and for Grand Slam in about 3 weeks. Round one already was concluded in an absolute stellar of a match. Hangman Page versus Bryan Danielson in their trifecta, and have now squared away 1 win, 1 loss, and 1 tie apiece. Going to be very interesting to see if they ever run that back. Danielson moves on and advances to face Chris Jericho, who received a bye for
Yep.
being Chris Jericho and the first AEW World Champion.
He's a wizard,
Nonetheless,
bro. All right.
he is. Our other first round matchup will take place tonight. I saw the spoiler report, but obviously didn't read them because I'd rather be more
Right.
entertained. We have our TNT representatives, Sammy versus Darby Allin. Winner faces John Moxley on Wednesday. We have
Yep.
both petitioned that we would like to see Darby Allin versus John
Yes.
Moxley. I think that'd be a very good match. Although I can see,
They've run it once before, correct?
I feel like they have
Like very
made.
early on AEW. I'm pretty sure they fought.
Probably been like years. Yes, it's probably been
Oh
like,
yeah,
like
it's
2 years.
been a while.
Although the Sammy story would make sense to continue the JSA Blackpool
Yep.
Combat Club beef, whatever. But yeah, what are your thoughts going forward, and who walks out of Arthur Ashe the new AEW World Champion? You kind of have my sort of gist on it, especially before the
Yes.
start.
Which
My guy
I
already
I,
lost in the first round. Horrendous.
I want to agree. Yo, my sister was pissed, bro. I said, yo, what if Bryan Danielson actually wins this? She says, I hope he loses every match going forward. I was like, that's messed up, bro. That's not.
Nah.
So when Danielson came out, right, I saw him look at the title, and my first thought was, what if? Right? Like, what if it was Danielson who went on to win the title? I don't see him beating Moxley if Moxley was the champion, right? Because that'd be kind of weird with them being in the same group, but they've also feuded before, so we know what they can do.
Moxley's up right now, anyways.
Yes.
So might come full circle here.
When you had said Page versus Moxley, I was on board, but you had also mentioned Danielson with the Jericho spoiler, and as much as I want to see Moxley win this whole thing, I am going with Danielson. I think he would probably be the perfect champion to put this title on during everything that just happened, right? Moxley has been screwed over. He's been screwed over. We can all agree he was screwed over.
I fucking told you when that shit when that ended in Cleveland, I was like,
yeah. No, you did. You definitely did.
No bueno.
I don't want to see him take that title and then have the MJF storyline come in, and then he immediately dropped the title again, right? Danielson winning, he will be a strong champ. We all know what he can do. He is the red, like he is the American Dragon. And Danielson versus MJF, I want to see that. I want, that being a world championship match, and maybe MJF beats him, and it's like, damn, Danielson, you couldn't beat him. And then that's when Mox comes back from his vacation or whatever he does for the meantime, No matter who wins this tournament, I do think MJF is taking that title off them.
Why not?
And Danielson maybe deserves the title more, even if he's going to be a transition champion,
Why not same night? Danielson pins
Moxley. It's got to be Moxley. Could they do a Darby or Sammy upset over Moxley?
I don't think so. Unless
Sammy, it would have to be cheating.
Yes.
Darby, I don't know how Darby would win clean over. Yeah, yes.
Have MJF come out and walk out of Arthur Ashe champion.
Yes. No, I agree.
Because at this point, next. Yes. You're riding the wave of WWE. I'm not gonna lie. You had the CM Punk train jump on the Daniel Bryan train. You know what I mean? Yep. Have him lose the night that he wins the championship, like Cena did. And then here came Randy Orton.
3 of the last 4 champions have a day reigns, pretty much.
Have Daniel Bryan's night get ruined again instead of Randy Orton. It's a young MJF coming out.
Yeah,
it could be super heat. You know what I mean? But I mean, it goes.
All I ask is that MJF goes for close to a year at least. Like, we do not need another couple month champion just to drop the title again. They need to establish someone with that title. You can't have injury.
Right.
Take it off the young guy to put it on this. They need to give a proper reign to that title. And MJF's going to be the guy. Poor Danielson.
Maybe the winner of this whole thing is going to be interesting because MJF has already basically come out and said, I have a championship match whenever I want it. He's lying in the weights, just ready to go and pounce on the first opportunity, which is going to be super interesting. Another big match announced for Arthur Ashe already. Swerve in Our Glory versus the Acclaimed Part 2. And another unexpected match due to the fact that the way the Acclaim literally won that crowd and that arena over was insane. And I did see maybe AEW and Tony Khan should have thought of just pulling an audible midway through the match and just crowning them champs because they were absolutely over ridiculous amounts. And I have no doubt in my mind that they're going to win now at Arthur Ashe.
You have no doubt. None whatsoever.
I think this is. I don't think Swerve.
But let me ask
Swerve
you this.
in Our Glory wasn't even supposed to be champions yet. Not at all.
Okay, but if FTR wants those titles, you have FTR versus the Acclaimed. Now that's great. What's the crowd? Who's the crowd gonna go? Do the Acclaimed do? Yeah, we're faces, but now FTR is involved. We'll do the heel turn, or what FTR?
I don't know.
I mean, you can do obviously face versus face, right? But Max Caster is going to rap something, and Dax is not gonna like it at all. They're not gonna like it,
Agreed.
The Acclaim, I think they do win though. I do agree with you, maybe. But now when they actually do win, that stadium will go crazy. And when they do win, that is the end of Swerve in Our Glory.
You think they're going singles route?
Yes. As soon as... Because it feels like every tag match with Swerve in Our Glory, they end up hitting each other, right? Like, one ends up taking out the other one at some point, but they always clutch up because they're both individually great. Together, they're greater, type shit. But something's going to happen, and they're not going to be able to come back from this one. Like, maybe Keith Lee takes out Swerve, and you're like, oh shit. But everyone's gonna get behind Keith Lee in it.
That's when
Everyone
you have
loves
to have
Keith Lee,
Swerve
and
be the
yeah,
one that,
people are gonna hate Swerve, but
Swerve will most
who
likely
knows?
be the one to have sort of a heel turn if they do decide to split them up.
Hey,
Even though
shout out the
Keith Lee,
Acclaim though.
would it be
Come
bad?
on.
Yeah,
Come on. Come on.
Scissor
Yeah.
me. It's definitely gonna be something. The Scissor Me Daddy Ass shirts are hilarious.
Yes.
They're over right now. They've
Yo.
absolutely pushed themselves. I'm still not like a major fan of Max
Yo.
Caster, although I've said that before. I think Bowens is definitely more entertaining of the two, and I think he's better in the ring. But yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see where they go because you bring up a good point. If FTR is up next,
And
that's gonna
FTR
be an
is
interesting
even like
dynamic.
it is inevitable, right? That FTR gets those titles, and it was supposed to be that Swerve and Our Glory were the placeholders for FTR, right? Like that is what was said when they first got those titles.
I have no fucking clue.
I remember reading that. I really do remember reading that was supposed to be the thing. And
Jeff
it's like
getting fucking suspended and gone before the Road Rager ladder match and having the Hardy Boys out of it definitely changed the course of a lot of shit because they had to have Young Bucks win that, and then they just defended it in the triple threat, and then for whatever reason Swerve won, and then looks like it's coming to a sad end. But I feel like that might have been a Tony Khan play to just let's get these new guys a title maybe. And now hopefully we'll see how they are if they end up going the singles route. But
I think they have to, right?
Maybe
have to.
Probably. I didn't really know where they fell in the tag team totem pole anyway. So them winning the championships were just, super shocking in the first place.
Yep. I was happy with it. But it's the Acclaim's time. It's their time.
It is. I hear it. And then obviously we started the show off with a returning MJF grouped up with Stokely and friends. Don't know if that's a temporary thing just to get him the chip, if that's his new faction or what.
It's gotta be his new faction.
But a returning MJF comes back to the company, plays the voicemail of Tony Khan pleading for him to come back.
So good.
Hilarious. Has his promo on Dynamite with John Moxley, which was one of the reasons why I was like, you know what, maybe Moxley might just win and be champion, and this feud might go forward. Because it looked like they might have been planting the early seeds for Moxley versus MJF, which I think would be an absolute banger of a match.
The storyline of Moxley coming to save AEW from MJF is going to be fantastic. It's going to be fantastic.
See, that's what everybody wants to get on board with now. But with Hangman did it against Punk, everybody thought Hangman was bugging the fuck out.
Yeah.
Just saying. Just saying.
That could be the storyline as well. Paige is the one who saves AEW from MJF, right? Like that could be the thing to actually give Paige a proper.
He needed to save it from Punk, and we wouldn't have been in this problem after Double or Nothing. We wouldn't be in this issue if he would have just won at Double or Nothing.
Okay, sorry MJF for going off. Your return. The devil is back.
The devil is back. The salt of the earth. Absolutely amazing. Last time we seen him, he obviously dropped a hell of a fucking promo. That was a banger. One of the best segments all fucking year long. And I'm just glad he's back on my screen, honestly.
Oh,
glad he's back on my screen. And hopefully the cash in of the chip or the moment that he has will be able to overcome what's happened to him in the last two pay-per-views, which is obviously, was he leaving before Double or Nothing with the whole Wardlow incident and all that shit, and now we realize that's just Wardlow. His big moment, he has his massive moment, and then it gets overshadowed by CM Punk versus the Elite. So just hopefully when he gets his crowning moment, it will be about him, considering the last two pay-per-views haven't gone so splendid for MJF. And one is really out of his control. He definitely could have helped Wardlow out, obviously. That one could have went a lot smoother, but he couldn't have controlled shit on what the fuck happened when CM Punk wanted to grow the biggest pair of balls ever and shit on the entire company's, head of the company. So, CM Punk. We're going to be on the lookout for that. That's obviously going to change the course of AEW, as previously mentioned before. It's going to be interesting to see. It's going to, make or break, sink or swim time for the boys over there. Adam Cole hopefully can come back and do something where he's obviously missed on our screen. We haven't hit a Adam Cole baby in a few months now.
Right.
So hopefully he returns.
Everyone loves him. Everyone loves Adam Cole.
A lot of the
Everyone's
backstage
on
stuff
that man's side. Even people you wouldn't expect
on
Adam Cole.
Yeah, no, for sure. There was John Moxley, William Regal, and I think Daniel Bryan led a talent meeting recently. I know Bryan was definitely a part of it. I think Moxley was one of the guys, and there's definitely one more. Bryan was definitely there. Got his, got his just due, said his piece and his part. So hopefully the locker room sort of bounces back strong. Rampage tonight. Claudio versus Dak Harwood for the ROH title should be an absolute interesting match.
Yes.
There's definitely another match that's on there that's worth watching that I can't.
Darby and Sammy,
obviously, as previously talked about. There's going to be some shit going down. It's going to be exciting. Can't wait to see what the future of AEW holds. Hopefully, it holds up strong because the next company we're going to talk about, WWE, not only ran one pay-per-view, and not only was that pay-per-view overseas to make move the needle a little more, they fired off a second pay-per-view the same day as AEW All Out, just a couple hours before. Those of us had about an hour.
Not even. It was like 20 minutes, bro.
Hour train, a little bit of a transition in between to acclimate ourselves because a lot of shit has happened. But WWE is fully underway. What better place to start than NXT and the future of NXT? As we saw, NXT 2.0 dominated Worlds Collide. Outside of Pretty Deadly, who I guess are NXT UK originals, but at this point in time,
where were those titles at, bro?
They have been which titles?
The NXT UK tag titles. We just jumping right into it, okay? When they showed up talking to, was it the Creeds? They only had the NXT tag titles. They didn't have both of them. Did they just do away? And then Braun, he didn't have both of them.
Those are now sitting in a warehouse somewhere.
Yeah, but they had them there. Just bring them out. Like,
those are now all sitting in a warehouse somewhere, collecting dust, never to be seen again.
And it don't look like we're getting any new title designs either.
No, it does not. Not until NXT Europe next year we'll probably get some new titles. I don't think they're going to do anything crazy. But the future of NXT, Braun wins, Mandy Rose wins, Pretty Deadly wins, Katana and Chance win, Carmelo wins. 2.0 in a clean 5-0 sweep. No one from NXT UK outside of Pretty Deadly, like I mentioned, but at this point they had been NXT 2.0 for Axiom did end up winning his very interesting best of 3
I
series.
forgot we talked about that.
I really thought that was going to be a Heritage Cup match on Worlds Collide, considering they are Worlds Collide, and I'm like, here we go, and then they save it for Tuesday, but that's fine. Hope we'll see Frazier win the next one. And then my early prediction for that is they're going to end in a double count out, and they'll be a tag team in the future. That's going to be I think we'll go 1-1-1, and they'll become a tag team. There'll be some sort of respect there.
If you're going to do a superhero character, every superhero has their alter ego. Like they have to be a normal person to the crowd. Like we have to know who they are, that you don't need to be like, oh, this is Axiom. He is a superhero, but this is him. Just he's a normal person. He joins Chase U,
Just bring
he's chilling out there. He loves math, right? Like they played that in, Like they can do it. Like 2.0 is at a solid place right now for all their characters. And some of them, it's like, that's a little weird.
Looking at you, Dyad and Schism.
Right. And then some people are gonna not like some characters, but it does not hurt to try, right? If it fails, it fails. You're gonna hear, oh, that was dog shit. Why would you even think about doing that? But what if it succeeds and everyone's like, wow, this is great. This is amazing. Let's see where it goes.
A lot of people like Wendy Chu.
Yeah. She's great. She sleeps. Everyone loves to sleep, bro.
On that note of the characters, how do you feel about Exium's entrance, comic book panel-esque? Sort of moving a little slow. Got like the frames moving.
Right.
How's he feeling? Sort of hyping up the superhero vibe getting.
This is all because of Marvel. And this is all because of Marvel's doing right here. They're like, superheroes, let's do it. Comic book, it fits. He's a superhero. It looks like he's in a comic book. What he's about to go do looks like some shit out of a comic book, right? So it works. I like it. People might not like it, but that's their opinion, bro.
I hear it. As the future of NXT continues to shape way, we obviously have main roster superstars paying visits. Doudrop and Nikki ASH lose in the tag team title match on Sunday, but bounce back on Tuesday and beat Toxic Attraction, which was rather interesting to see that they're back down there, at least for the time being. And Ricochet loses to Carmelo in an absolute banger of an opening match.
Amazing match, bro.
Comes through and gets a win against Trick Williams. So how are we feeling with some main roster vibes going on down there? Are we? Apollo came back a little while ago.
Dolph at one point.
Dolph and AJ were down there. They had some periods. But how are we feeling? Sort of this influx of main roster talent dipping in, because we will get to it. We have call ups talent, NXT talent now on the main roster. Now it's sort of mixing around a little bit. It looks like.
You always need a veteran to maybe go down and be like, yo, this is how we do it on like the main roster to help people get acclimated to what they're doing, with Triple H and them. They're saying like, we don't want to script out the matches as much anymore. Like, we want people to call it in the ring. And with a good amount of the characters in NXT 2.0, they've never really been in that position before, right? So then you have Nikki Ash and Doudrop and Natalya and AJ and Dolph. People, they are fantastic in the ring, right? Like, they understand how to tell a story in the ring. And they can help these younger people, like, maybe when you mess up, instead of doing it like, you can just like quickly do like a tap to tell them, let's do this instead, like, you need those veteran voices for the younger characters. The only thing, I thought Nikki and Doudrop might have been going their separate ways. We had that video come out of Damage Control, and then behind them you see Nikki Ash take off her mask and throw it at her, right?
Yep.
And then on Tuesday they beat like the best tag team in NXT, right? Other than the champions. And I was like, so not happening, maybe continues to develop, Obviously, you don't want to just break them up immediately because of one video. But them winning doesn't point towards them breaking apart. And Ricochet, that man could probably be NXT champion if he wanted to. He definitely could. And
You're going to get a Ricochet versus Apollo match for the NXT championship?
We might. With Braun triple threaded. Braun ain't got to be the one who gets pinned. Nah. It's good though. Like, there are stuff Apollo, Ricochet need to work on. So not only are they being a voice for the younger talent, they're down there trying to better themselves as well. Grayson Waller, great on the mic. Braun, he's coming around, and no matter how old you get, how long you do something, there's always more to learn, right? So that's what they're there for. Work on what they're missing to potentially elevate them to that next level on the main roster. Ricochet, I think we can all agree we could see potentially a WWE champion because that's how good in the ring he is. We just need him to get us on his side, right? And that's what he can do down there.
Yes, I agree. Ricochet, absolute stud. The Nikki ASH, I think they just want her to bring her back to
Nikki Cross.
Maybe, obviously toned down a bit from sort of the crazy psychoness that saw so early on. In
this gimmick was doomed from the beginning.
She had like rabies and shit for the first time
when they turned her into Nikki Ash, they put Nikki Cross. Like, that was her first name as the superhero. And then, like, 2 weeks later, it's like, oh, Nikki Ash, a superhero. We're so clever. Who is this behind the mask, Lewis? Who is Nikki Ash, bro?
Wouldn't know. We just watched this woman wrestle and become world champion before. I don't know.
Right.
Definitely some decisions they have to be made.
It could have been good. It could have. We've seen the Hurricane, you know. We've seen superhero work before, and they just flopped.
Molly Holly.
Exactly. Rosie, you know, like,
yeah,
they were great as superheroes.
Now we see Axiom trying it, but you know, state of NXT is definitely in flux. We'll have to see if it's going to be NXT 2.0, NXT 3.0, 2.5, 4.6. What the hell they're going to go with? Maybe just go back to general NXT.
Yeah.
You know, as they continue to develop. But speaking of fluxes and changes on the main roster, Johnny Gargano will give us his in-ring debut this coming week.
Good.
He is back. Dexter Lumis is broken out of the nut house. Hilariously enough, shows up under the ring for the steel cage match. Continuously, I'm wondering where the storyline with Miz is going to go and why he picked Miz. That's definitely going to be interesting considering they already paired a new guy.
It's gotta be Gargano, bro. The way, bro. It is the way.
Maybe because, you know, the way they kind of argued Ciampa with him, and now it's sort of like they're going to put another new guy with him.
Right.
Not with him, but working, you know, giving the rub, whether it's a win, a loss, or whatever.
Miz is gonna do whatever he has to.
Screen time with him, exactly. Braun Strowman is back, and he will be on our screens later tonight.
Yeah, man, trip, bro. That trip. I like how Gable tried to sell it like he went for his knee. Yeah, did you see him? He did try to sell it like he went for the knee.
Jumped on the apron. Yeah. My only issue with that is why did he have to fuck up that match? I feel like
I agree.
It was very weird, but I guess to push the point that he was gonna be, you know, he's here to destroy everyone. He's being pushed legit. You know, you wipe out 4 tag teams, I guess, but the match is going pretty damn good.
You even said yourself he's probably gonna ruin another tag team match tonight. And I just don't want to see it be, we're going to name a new #1 contender because we couldn't on Raw. Oh, shit. Braun's here. Oh, God.
If he does, he's going to destroy Maximum Male Models.
Male Models, the Viking Raiders.
Don't put
Hit Row. They probably will.
But maybe because he beat the shit out in the New Day and the Street Profits. So I guess it's you know, it doesn't really matter. Hopefully he doesn't. But
maybe they do that. Like, we're gonna crown new #1 contenders since they got messed up, you know. And then Triple H is gonna come out and be like, bro,
find a tag partner.
Did Vince hire you? Like, we know he hates tag team wrestling. What are you doing, bro? Like, we do need a new #1 contender for those tag titles, though. We really do.
Well, the story for Sammy and Kevin Owens has been there for so long. You've been petitioning it on this show.
But now I want to see them both take a world title from Roman. You know, I don't even want them to get the tag titles.
That story gets more and more wild. We're going to get into all that and Roman in a bit. Yes. But yeah, a lot of shit has changed. We have returns. Obviously, Hit Row, Cross. Beat the shit out of poor Drew Gulak, sadly. Don't know what's going to happen with Drew Gulak going forward.
He's in a better position now.
Well, he's not getting stripped down and chopped back.
Triple H taking over. He's gonna give a little respect to Gulak because he's good. Like, we need to see more of Drew Gulak, bro.
Legit, I absolutely agree. All these call-ups and returns are going to be interesting. And at Clash at the Castle, we got another return. The call-up of Giovanni Vinci, formerly known as Fabian Eichner, rejoins Imperium for an amazing segment.
Braun's going to destroy them in that 4-way match.
I hope not. But Imperium is back. Gunther and the gang, obviously totally different names. Like I said, it was Fabian and Marcel and Walter to start, and now they're Giovanni, Ludwig, and Gunther, you know.
And they actually, we were very adamant against Gunther right? Like,
Yeah,
as soon as we
we're
heard his name
not like
change,
it.
we were, no, that is Walter, bro. Like,
Way
give
better.
him his name back. But it's grown on me. This is a name change that him and Ludwig and Giovanni to an extent, because I've only seen him a couple times, on NXT recently. These names have worked. Butch ain't worked.
Butch ain't working. Yeah, I'm glad to see Imperium come back. I hope we get the 6-man Extreme Rules match at
Yes.
Extreme Rules against the Brawling Brutes. I would just please make it a 6-man. Please make it an Extreme Rules. Let these guys
I
legitimately
agree.
beat the shit out of each other. Toss each other through tables. We know Pete Dunne can wrestle. We know what Sheamus and Gunther can do. We know what Imperium can do as a tag team. Ridge will drop you on your head, but it is okay.
I hope so. I hope so.
He's sort of the weird man out on that one. But how did you feel about that entire match? Because it was one of the bigger highlights of the weekend. Dave
Yo,
Meltzer said it was one of the best WWE matches
my chest hurt,
ever.
bro. I told you, my chest was gonna hurt, and my favorite thing was after the match, though. That crowd went so wild for Sheamus, and yes, he is technically a heel. It is good to see someone like Sheamus getting that ovation because, I mean, he probably will, and he's maybe gotten close to one like that in the States, but it being over there and that crowd, just everyone, it was so cool to see Sheamus get that ovation.
Future Hall of Fame.
Gunther's going to continue to dominate with that IC title, and I'm here for it.
He needs to just hold it and hold that bitch down.
Yo, I seen a tweet saying he should be the one to be the Honky Tonk Man's record, and I agree. He should hold the record for that IC title. That's how good he is.
Maybe the way he's being built right now, there's definitely a good chance. Wondering what his next feud will be after Sheamus and the Brawling Brutes. Although, like I keep saying, I want this shit to keep going. I'm all fine for it if they want to continue this. Because
would it be bad if it was Drew?
Matches.
Would that be too much for Gunther?
Drew could be a good one.
Getting that one,
but that just legit officially probably puts Drew way outside the title picture for this.
That would be more of a Mania match.
Yeah.
Yes.
Give him a big big Mania moment. But man, poor Drew if that's the case. Poor Drew.
I mean, it might not be bad. All right. He puts over Gunther at WrestleMania, and then he goes to like Raw or SmackDown when the titles are split, hopefully,
If they ever decide to get that shit done,
yes.
Which I hope they do. I hope if they proceed to prolong it, it looks like there is a good chance it will be post-Mania. Where they decide to, all right, draft is coming back. Like, let's officially split these bad boys up.
Split them up or unify it and give a new one, That is a rumor.
I know. Matt probably had a good point. We will probably see the Red Universal Championship coming back.
Yep.
And, swapping that, putting WWE back on SmackDown for a little while. We've had the Blue Universal title for Roman's entire reign.
Right? Yeah.
So... It probably will be due for a belt swap at some point. Man, hopefully they split the belts. But the man that holds those belts remains unstoppable. The tribal chief, Roman Reigns,
acknowledge him.
Retains. He wants to be acknowledged
by everyone.
He beats Drew McIntyre in the main event of Clash of the Castle with obvious help. Of course, because he can't win a damn thing clean anymore, it feels like, or without some sort of shenanigan or something going down.
Hey, when you're at the top, bro,
you do everything.
I'm
a Patriots fan. You don't gotta tell me.
You don't gotta tell everything.
We play dirty.
And when it's your family, also, like you can trust them, bro.
The inevitable call up
good.
Solo Sikoa. We obviously joked around. Oh, is he gonna be Johnny Uso? Is he gonna be whatever Uso? Jay something. So we made the jokes. We had the jokes and stuff. He looks like he will be Solo Sikoa going forward, keeping the name. Although
it's a good name.
A lot of people do make a good point. What is going to be the story for him joining the Bloodline, considering the reason why he was NXT was because his family abandoned him and nobody was there for him and shit. So that was the reason why he was in NXT.
Sammy came and got him, bro.
You know,
He
the
said,
Sammy
"Hey,
Sammy
your
storyline.
family's not that bad, bro. They did this for you, so you could find yourself. And then when you found yourself as this street fighter who just wants to beat the hell out of people, they knew then, and that's why they sent me down to NXT to bring you here to help your cousin keep those titles. You know, it's great. It's great.
If that's the
I
story that
just
he
want more
decides to go
Sammy.
with, that like Sammy's just
It
fully
won't. It
entrenching
won't.
him, like, oh, I got your brother called up, Jay. Ooh,
Right.
fuck all that one. That seems to be. It's an interesting dynamic. I like, Usos versus
But
Sammy sort of backstage funny shit.
every time Sammy tries something right, it always seems like it backfires, right?
Yes,
This is the backfire. He brought up the dude who's gonna beat the shit out of him and kick him out of the bloodline.
maybe getting
Right?
full
Not
sympathy
bad.
back from
Yo, hey,
everybody.
sign me. I got a little creative up here.
Ah man, Roman Reigns continues as champion. Uh, out the biggest
Oh,
W
yo,
knock
he's
on
going at least until Mania.
Yeah, the biggest knock
Like,
on WWE is, why did Drew have to, lose?
yep.
There's obviously a portion of the wrestling fans that are right now currently petitioning as Cody, Cody
Yep.
Rhodes to return and be the one to dethrone. Um, I get it, I do. I'm just gonna be honest. That's a whole lot of fucking dick sucking, if I'm being honest. But
It also seems a little too obvious for Cody to win that Rumble now.
it'll be it'll be so low key forced, in
Nah,
my opinion. I
I
don't know.
know we
We shit
were
on both companies and we love both
we
companies, but
were
without a
at one
doubt,
point on board with Cody winning because it felt like it was going to go that route, right? But now with everyone like Cody, 2023 Rumble winner, and then you know how we were with Io Sky and Dakota, they weren't champions, they lost, and that was a swerve. And I really do think this Royal Rumble winner is going to be a swerve because everyone believes it's going to be Cody. Maybe Cody gets that number one contender match in the Elimination Chamber like they do, That maybe that wouldn't be bad, getting Cody in a Mania main event. Rumble though, it could be like it's so obvious they don't do it, but it's so obvious they still do it because it's Cody Rhodes, right?
pretty much. Like, that's my only issue. It's
Yep.
almost CM Punk versus Hangman esque. It's like, you see it coming, but do you
Hey,
really want it? Like,
did you see my theory to you about Punk? Did you like that one?
yeah, to come back in
Yo,
WWE to
this was all
WWE,
his plan all along. He's going to be out 6 to 8
destroy.
months. Mania is 7 months away almost. Really, it's around the time, right, that he would
That
be
would.
coming back. 7 to 8 months, right?
You know
Could
what
you
the fuck could
imagine?
happen if the
Cody wins,
static
bro.
hits?
Cody is holding up the WWE title, both of them, whatever. And then that static hits, bro. When Seth Rollins ran down and cashed in, that was a huge moment.
The moment.
If that man Punk's music hits and he walks out, oh my god, that crowd will not be able to control themselves.
No, he'd have to save that for the Monday after Mania. Have Cody come out, be all pumped up. That'd be the best time to do it.
Yeah,
That would be the best time to do it. That would be badass.
I
But
don't want to see it though. As crazy
yeah,
as it
it's
would
just
be, I
The
don't.
Cody shit just seems a little forced. It's just, at this point, there is
Yeah.
nobody Roman hasn't beat outside of Seth Rollins, who he got a DQ win over at the Rumble
Yep.
for. So it looks like that
Rollins. I think if it's not Cody, it's Rollins that wins that Rumble match right now. Right now, and this is obviously like 5 months away. So yes, we are predating all this. But right now, it feels like those two are the
two to
ones
put your
to be
money
looked
on?
at. Yes.
Yeah. Sorry, Drew. No money in the bank for you. No
Maybe IC.
world titles
Maybe
for you.
IC.
Maybe IC.
Or
But yeah,
US,
we'll have to wait and see. Bobby Lashley's on an absolute run.
Yes.
2 good matches against Theory on
He's
pay-per-view. AJ, then Ciampa. Now
Yep.
working ladder match, steel cage, another steel cage match. He was wrestling steel cages against Omos. He's on a run right now. He's doing everything.
It's a damn good run too.
Shout out to the almighty Bobby Lashley. I will say that.
Yes.
Hopefully he gets mix it in the ring with some more other
Yo,
talented individuals, so we can continue to
could
get good
Bobby be the
matches.
one to beat Roman at some point? That
Uh,
would be a great that could be a great match.
I don't, maybe. I mean, that's definitely it's somewhere that they can lean to because the
Yep.
main card champions right now are being built pretty respectable, winning
AJ, you
matches.
can always put AJ somewhere, but
Of
do you
course.
have AJ be the one to beat Roman? Probably not.
I mean, you
I think AJ would be a
there's
name that would be good to be added to Roman's list of people he's beaten, during this
AJ
title reign.
AJ's journey obviously started with Roman. If everybody remembers when he
Yes.
came out to the Rumble, he was the
Oh,
man in the ring.
I do
I know you
remember.
remember.
I do remember
Uh,
that. Yes.
so that would be something, full circle for
Yep.
AJ. But I don't know. Maybe Cody, maybe Seth. Drew sadly is not the guy that was able to do it, and
I
another
want
guy
KO or
unable to
Sammy,
get it
but
done.
I don't know.
Another guy not able to get it done is the guy that continues to sleep on the job of Mr. Money in the Bank. Poor Austin Theory gets laid out this time
Laid
by
out.
Tyson Fury. Obviously, not a successful cash in at SummerSlam, not a successful cash in here.
Not a pull to punch either.
Not
That shit looked like it
uh,
hit, bro.
the rumors out there are no Roman for Extreme Rules. There's potentially no Roman for Crown Jewel, or if he goes,
He
it's
has
looking,
to show up at Crown Jewel.
it's looking Survivor Series esque. It's going to be definitely be interesting to see where it goes.
Fighting himself
Towards the end, I don't know who's left for him. But this is sort of going to be the story of where Karrion Kross' emergences over the next few months. Although just having him return and beating Roman pretty much in less than 6 months of being there would be absolutely insane. But then again,
insane. You want to talk about force? People would hate that.
absolutely agree. There's just I don't know what's next for him. We keep saying the Kevin Owens and Sammy stuff is seamlessly there. It's sort of being built as these bottom blocks to a bigger story, which a lot of people believe are going to lead to the tag team champions and not necessarily world champion match. And it's something they haven't done in WWE or even in NXT. They've never held the tag team titles together at any point in time. So maybe this could be
everyone would love them.
Cool ass moment to have. Because that looks like where they're going in terms of main. I don't know. I don't want to see Brock Lesnar be his opponent.
God, no. Or Goldberg.
Or Goldberg. You know what I mean? I don't know. Or Triple H. Like I'm lacing him up.
Imagine that man puts himself in the
Let me
Royal
lace him up
Rumble
for
again.
Crown Jewel. I got you, Roman. Hold on.
Right.
I think we will see maybe a returning Randy. Get revenge for Riddle.
Would be solid.
Can have a few. It's something that we literally seen again when Roman was being built as being the guy in the beginning. One of his first feuds of that SummerSlam was Randy Orton. So I mean, there's a lot of stories from that they can tie in. Maybe Elrod can come in, as a secret superstar.
True.
As we see, are we getting Elias? Are we getting Ezekiel? Are we getting Elrod? Like, what are we getting? Because that's another interesting.
Oh, I remember. Sorry. I was like, I had something in my mind and then I forgot it and I just remembered. I saw an article by Cultaholic, I believe, that said Roman is being made into like this generation's legend.
Yep.
And
basically,
what a damn way to be doing it. That man is on a tear, and it, like we're saying, we don't know when it's stopping, right? Like, you can talk about The Rock coming in. No.
If you listen to Matt, The Rock is coming in and winning at WrestleMania Hollywood.
The Rock is
and
cool.
Then he's dropping them hoes on Monday the next night.
But if they want to do The Rock versus Roman, it does not need those titles. It doesn't. It really doesn't. It
just needs to be the head of the table match.
Yeah, it would be more of a you kind of failed this family by losing those titles, and I'm gonna show you why I'm still at the top. Not only is it because I have billions and I'm in every movie you've ever seen for the past 25 years, but it's because I'm still better than you. They don't need those titles.
Yeah, no, that match, if we get that match, is going to be more so of a family storyline. I'm
Yes.
the best that's ever came out of this family, and
You'd be
I'm
like,
the
hey
best that's
Jay,
ever come out of
you
the
remember when
family.
you actually opposed this man? And Jimmy, when you came back, you weren't with him, and then you just, oh yeah, it's cool. We're
He
beating
beat their
people up.
asses enough for
Yeah,
them to
yeah,
be like, you know
you
what?
know, like,
We're gonna go with the tribal chief.
right. Oh well.
It's
Oh
gonna be
well. Yeah.
that is another one of the downsides of why Clash of the Castle wasn't rated so highly, because there's just not a lot left for Roman to do.
But
And
isn't that what keeps you wanting to know what is next? And that's why you're gonna turn it on in an hour, and you're gonna be like, "Oh shit, that's what's next," you
watch
know?
it for entertainment. I don't know if that. I mean, we knew what was next with Drew.
Right.
Drew had came out paired up with RK Bro. What I
Yeah.
forgot what they named themselves.
It wasn't yeah, it was RK Bro. Yeah. I'm pretty sure, right?
RK McBro or whatever it
No.
was.
Oh yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah.
They
Okay.
did
Yeah.
they did that, and they sowed the seeds for Clash at the Castle literally like 5 months ago at WrestleMania Backlash. And then we had to wait for this period of time
Right.
where Drew basically just forgot he wanted to fight Roman and started fighting Sheamus, and then Riddle becomes the guy. But I think that sort of happened with Randy's injury and stuff, and then we start to see that sort of take place. But I don't know what's left for Roman. Like Crossroads.
Yeah, I mean,
Crossroads.
it is those people, like the people yes.
Is Drew
It's
gonna get a bounce back?
someone,
Bobby gonna make an appearance?
someone out of these people that is being said
Is
will be the
AJ
one to
gonna
beat
get
Roman.
an
No,
outstanding run
I
in
would
the near
love that.
future?
Oh, I would love AJ to be the one, but if it's AJ, that's his last run. As soon as he drops those titles, whoever he drops those titles to,
it's over for the
he's
phenomenal
done.
one.
Yeah, he's done.
It's all right, because it's gonna be a banger when the good fellas come back and the good brothers come
Apparently
back,
not
and
happening.
it's gonna be amazing. Their new thing is gonna be beat up Roman Reigns.
Yeah,
Beat
no,
up
their
John
thing is
Cena.
gonna be let's go save Finn Balor, and let's put it together, you know.
Bring back the club. Bring
Yep.
back the club. I hear it. That's gonna wrap up this show here. There's obviously way more wrestling to be talked about. Way more shit that goes on in the world of wrestling. It's
Sports entertainment.
It's just only so much you can cover and you can talk about.
Right.
And I don't want to keep it.
And 2K is calling our name, is what he's trying to say.
Chinese food is calling my name. I got to get ready to order that. I'm ordering that shit as soon as we're done up off of this. I'm gonna eat some Chinese food.
Like,
we're gonna be
comment,
entertained.
Share,
of course,
subscribe,
of course,
noties on,
of course.
And if you didn't hear, like, comment, share, subscribe, noties on. And you were saying?
That's basically it. Be here next Friday. We're gonna keep busting down some more wrestling. Be here on Wednesday. Week 1 recap.
Yes.
NFL is
Rams
back.
Suck.
Preview into week 2.
Yeah.
Let's see if our teams get a dub. See if the Pats go down and beat the brakes off of Miami. Will the Saints be able to beat? Who do you guys play? I feel like y'all play Atlanta.
Yeah, we do. We play Atlanta.
You guys play Atlanta? Yeah, I thought you guys had a divisional game. Beat the brakes off of the Dirty Birds.
They're garbage. Yes.
Marcus Mariota running around. Honey Badger catching.
You're gonna see him punk him. I mean, hey, yo, we just going. All right.
All that and more all next week. Tune in. Have a good one. Thank you very much.
Yeah.